Hey guys, it's Jaclyn, and today I wanted to share with you guys what I bring in my travel makeup bag and what essentials I pack and what brushes I bring and all that good stuff. So if you have been following along, you might have known that I actually went to New York last week. I actually filmed some vlogs while I was there, so I'll put the links down below in case you want to check that out. But I thought it would be useful to show you guys what I actually ended up packing on my trip and what I actually ended up using, and basically what products and tools I would recommend traveling with in terms of like beauty and makeup and stuff like that. So we might as well just get started. Actually no, before I get started, I just wanted to say a huge thank you for 10,000 subscribers. We ended up hitting it a couple days ago, and it honestly blows my mind, and I don't know how to even comprehend the fact that 10,000 people have subscribed to my channel. And it's honestly so overwhelming how much support and how much love you guys give to me like daily on Twitter and YouTube, and you guys honestly always just leave such supportive and sweet comments. They genuinely do make my day, and I go through them all and read them all. And yeah, I guess I just wanted to say a huge thank you for that, and I just wanted to let you guys know how thankful I am for all this and how grateful I feel to have such supportive viewers, and it's just honestly, it's so incredible, so thank you for that. So now that I'm done being all emotional and stuff, we might as well hop on into what I carry in my travel makeup bag. So this is the case that I use. I've been using it for like the last couple of years. I think I got it as like a gift maybe 3-4 years ago. I honestly have no idea where it's from. It's just like this hard metal kind of like mini train case. So it's cool because it's got these little buckles and it has different like drawers inside. So it's really great because it organizes everything, and it also has a little section for like brushes back here. I don't end up using that anymore just because I have my separate brush roll, but it is useful if you just have a few ones that you want to keep in there. But what's really great about it is that it is so like hard that if you keep this in your suitcase, it's not going to break or damage any of your makeup. It's pretty much all protected inside, and I've never had any problems with it. So this is the case that I use. So I'm going to get started and show you guys what I carry, or what I chose to carry inside, and then what I ended up using and what was useful, and just some general tips that I think are important for traveling. So we might as well just get started in the little top two sections up here. So I actually packed some foundations, and I'm kind of a foundation hoarder. It's a little excessive. You definitely don't need to pack all these ones. But when we went to New York, we didn't really have any plans set in stone, and I wasn't really sure what I was going to be doing all the days. So I didn't know if we were going to be like going out, if I needed to like dress up. So I wanted to have some more full coverage options in case I was like doing a full face of makeup and wanted to like glam myself up. But I also wanted to bring some really lightweight and easy wearable foundations. So that is why I'm a little excessive in that sense. You definitely don't need to do that though. If you have plans and you know what you're doing, you could probably tailor your makeup a little more towards that. But like I said, because I didn't know what I was going to be doing, I might have overpacked in a couple of areas, but I'll let you know. So the first foundation that I brought was the MAC Face and Body Foundation. This is just my go-to foundation when I want a really like natural look. It's super like dewy and lightweight and looks like skin. So this was kind of my like super natural go-to foundation if I was having more of a casual day. I'm really glad that I brought this foundation just because I ended up wearing it pretty much every single day when I was in New York, except for one night. Me and my friend went out to a concert, so I ended up wearing something a little more full coverage. But yes, this is definitely a keeper. It's my go-to foundation, so I love that. The next foundations that I ended up bringing were actually the Makeup Forever HD foundations. I ended up bringing 2 bottles just because I wasn't an exact shade in either of them, so I had to like mix them to get my perfect color. But can you see these lids? All these lids of these foundations have broken off and snapped. I really dislike the packaging on these guys. The lids they just snap so easily. But that's a different story. So I really like these foundations because they are a bit more full coverage, but they still feel really lightweight. So this is what I ended up wearing when I went out to a concert. I just really love the finish of these foundations. I know they look great like on camera if I know I'm going to be taking a lot of pictures. This is actually normally what I wear when I'm like filming too, just because I find it looks the best on camera. So I really like these foundations, but I actually kind of have a funny story about this. Oh, buddy, these are breaking. These are the foundations that I use if I'm working on a client or if I'm doing makeup on someone else. I just find these foundations are really great for their color selection, and they just work on a bunch of different skin types. So these are my go-to foundations. So I have a bunch of different colors and shades of these HD foundations. So the morning when I had to catch my plane, I was kind of rushing and I hadn't packed my makeup yet. So I just went through my collection and grabbed the 2 foundations that I thought were my color, which was silly. I should have just checked the number of them, but I actually ended up bringing the 2 wrong colors, so that was kind of annoying. I ended up bringing the ones with the more pinky undertone, and I definitely have more golden and yellow undertones on my skin. So the night of the concert when I was putting this on, I was like, this does not look right on my skin, and I was like, oh my god, I brought the wrong foundations. So that was kind of annoying. So make sure that you bring the right foundations and the right colors that you want. But that was just a silly mistake that I made. But other than that, these foundations are great, and I do really recommend them, especially for something a little more full coverage or if you're being on camera. The next guy that I have in this little pouch here is just my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer. This is my go-to eyeshadow primer. I just find that it makes my eyeshadow stay in place and not move, which is what I want in a primer. So that guy is good. The next thing that I have is this Duo Eyelash Adhesive. This is my favorite eyelash glue, and I just brought it because I knew the night of the concert I was going to be wearing false lashes, so I wanted to make sure I had a nice and long wearing eyelash glue. The next thing I brought was just a face primer. This is just the Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer. I've talked about this primer a little bit already on my channel, so I'm not going to go on a huge spiel, but I really like this primer. Feels good on the skin, it makes my makeup last long, which is what you want in a good primer. The next guys that I have here is this lip balm, which is by Glossier. You guys know that I'm a huge lip gloss, or not lip gloss, a huge like lip balm and lip product kind of person. So I love a good lip balm. This is just my favorite one at the moment. It's the coconut balm. You can also use this on like the cuticles, elbows, or anywhere else that's kind of dry on your body, but it smells amazing. It smells like fresh tropical coconuts mixed with sunscreen, which is like one of my favorite smells. I have a few other lip products here. This is just my Nudestix lip and cheek pencil in blush. I wear this guy a ton. It's really easy and it looks natural, but just gives you a little bit of like a coral kind of color. I also brought the MAC Velvet Teddy lipstick, which has just been my favorite lipstick over the last little while. Just a neutral matte color, really easy and simple. Just how I like my lip colors. And then I also brought a gel eyeliner. Again, I didn't know if I was going to be going out and I wanted to do like a dramatic winged eyeliner. I actually didn't end up using this at all, but I just brought it like just in case I needed it. I also brought this little Sephora pencil sharpener guy just because it's the worst when you pack like a pencil product and it breaks and then you don't have a sharpener on you. So I definitely would recommend bringing these. It's often overlooked, but very, very important. So that was everything in like the top little drawer. So I'm going to open it up and show you guys what I carry in like the main bottom part of it. How the heck did I fit everything in here before? Beats me. Okay, let's open this bad boy up. Okay, so I'm just going to go in and grab whatever I see at the top first. So this guy here is just my Nars Creamy Concealer in Custard. I've talked about this a bunch too on my channel. It's just my go-to concealer to cover up blemishes. So I really like this. Actually, I'm running out of this, so I need to pick up a new one of that soon. I also brought my Clarins concealer. This is just my under eye concealer that I use. I really like it. I've also talked about this a ton, I think. I also have a little eyelash curler in here. I love a good eyelash curler. I also just brought my favorite mascara. This is just the Maybelline, the Rocket in Waterproof. Waterproof mascara is an essential for me because if I'm sweaty and hot or dancing around, things will smudge and turn into raccoon eyes really quickly. So waterproof is an essential for me. I also ended up bringing my Nars Laguna bronzer, just in case I wanted to bronze up my skin a little bit. And I also brought actually a contour powder, and I wanted to talk a little bit about this just because a lot of people tend to get confused with the difference of like a contour powder like this and a bronzer like this guy, and like what the difference is and why you should use one over the other. Basically, contouring and bronzing is two different things. So this guy here is a little contour kit, so it's got a contour and then a highlight color. Basically, contour is used to kind of add definition to your face, resculpt it, and just define the planes of your face. It tends to be commonly used for like cheekbones, defining your cheekbones, in the crease of your eyes, on the bridge of your nose, kind of like the jawline around the neck, people like to do it, just to add a bit more shape and definition. It basically just creates a shadow, so it gives you a bit more depth and dimension to your face. So that is what a contour powder is and what it's normally used for. Typically with a contour powder, it's matte. You don't really want any shimmer because then that's defeating the purpose of creating a shadow and trying to create depth. So it tends to be matte and typically on the cooler side, so it does look like a shadow. So it tends to be more like a gray brown like this versus like a really warm brown like the Nars Laguna is. So that was a long spiel about contouring. I'm actually not the biggest fan of contouring. I don't do it too much, only if I'm doing a super dramatic makeup look and want to add like tons of definition, I'll go a bit crazy with contour. But on an everyday basis, I don't really do it, and I actually didn't end up using this at all in New York. But I'm glad that I brought it just in case, but yeah, definitely not a necessity for me. So this guy here, the Nars Laguna bronzer, this one is a bronzer which is intended to bronze up your skin and make it look like you have a bit more of a tan. So this guy here has a little bit of golden shimmer just to give you a bit of that like glow and tan look. So I do love some bronzer. Like I said, I'm not a huge contour person, but I love me some bronzer. So I did use this while I was down there just to kind of warm up my face and make it look like I have a bit more of a tan. So I love that. The next guys that I brought were some blushes. This is my Bobbi Brown powder blush, and this is just a nice kind of mauvey pink, everyday pink color. I actually didn't end up using this at all. The reason that I brought this was actually for the concert that I was going to, because I knew that I was going to be hot, so I thought maybe a powder would be a little more long wearing on me, but I ended up using the other blush that I had, which I will show you guys now. This guy here is the matte cream blush in Ladyblush, and this is just a beautiful neutral soft pink color, nothing crazy. but I just really love the way it looks on the skin. Since it is a cream, it's super dewy, it looks like skin. It doesn't look like you've layered another powder over top on your skin. So yeah, I just really love the color of this and the finish. So yeah, this is my go-to color on my vacation. I use this literally every single day, and I love this stuff, and I think it's amazing. The next thing that I have in here is a highlighter. This is just the Becca highlighter, which is absolutely gorgeous. I don't know if you can even see it on this camera, but it's like so shimmery and champagne-y and golden-y, and it just is such an amazing glowy highlight. So I use this a bit on days when I just wanted a little more oomph to my makeup look. So I just did some on like my cheekbones, sometimes on my brow bones, my inner corner, sometimes on my Cupid's bow too, like right up here. But yeah, I didn't use this every day, but I'm glad that I brought it because I did get some use out of it. I think I wore it maybe like 1 or 2 of the days. But this guy is a really incredible product, and I would definitely recommend this if you're looking for a highlighter. And this one is pretty universal. It does work on a bunch of different skin tones as well, so I love this guy. The next thing that I brought was actually some lashes. I've actually got 2 different pairs in here. These were lashes that I had actually used before, but I just like alcoholed them and cleaned them, and it's got all the gunk and glue off them. Actually, I think that's another thing that people don't always realize. You can actually reuse like eyelashes. You don't have to throw them out as soon as you're done using them. So as long as you've cleaned them really well with some 99% alcohol and just kind of reshaped them onto the like little platform that they came on, they should be good to go for at least like 5 or 6 uses. So I actually did end up using these guys just because initially I did know that I was going to be buying some lashes probably in New York when I was down there, and I did end up buying some different lashes. So I ended up using those instead when I wanted to wear lashes. But I'm glad that I brought these just as a backup. But I will show you guys the other lashes that I got actually in my New York haul, which I'm going to be filming soon. Okay, and the last makeup item that I brought was just my Naked palette. This is my go-to eyeshadow palette. It's just got it all for neutrals, which is what I like. It's got some matte shades, it's got some shimmery shades. Honestly, you can't go wrong with this palette. I ended up using it a ton. So that is actually all the makeup that I ended up bringing. I actually didn't bring any powder. I don't know if you noticed, like a pressed powder or like a setting powder. I actually didn't bring any of those just because I knew that I was going to be buying a pressed powder as soon as I got down there, which I ended up buying as well. And again, that will be in the New York haul that I'm filming soon. So yeah, I didn't end up bringing any of those. So yeah, that was the perfect amount of makeup. It fit perfectly in this little case, and like I said, I totally recommend this case for traveling. It's just great, and you don't have to worry about any powders getting crushed or like smashed or destroyed, which has happened before, especially on like airplanes. Okay, so the next things that I'm going to go through is some tools and some brushes that I brought with me. I just have this little brush roll here, so I'm just going to open this up and show you what's inside. And pretty much all my brushes in here are dirty because I ended up using them, so I'm sorry about that. So this is my brush roll here. Ooh, there's like no non-awkward way to show this. Oh, things are falling out already. Let me grab that. So this is what I use to carry all my brushes and all my tools, and I also put some like eyeliner and lip liner pencils in the bottom here. So I'm just going to go through these guys and show you what I ended up bringing in terms of brushes and tools and stuff like that. Okay, so I'm going to start with this guy over here. This is my foundation brush. I talk about this a ton as well. This is just the Real Techniques Expert Base Brush. It's a really dense, fluffy brush. Great for putting on foundation. I use that pretty much every single day. This next guy that I have here is actually a really old brush, but it's one of those brushes that I just can't get rid of, and I use it all the time, no matter if I buy a replacement for it. Like, it's just so good, and it's been with me for so long, I can't let go of it. This is normally what I use for bronzer or like a powder blush. I don't even know where it's from. I think it's maybe from Avon, like at least 10 years ago. Like, this is a really, really old brush. But you can find very similar brushes from like pretty much anywhere, like MAC or Sephora. Actually, I packed a very similar brush to it. Why did I pack this? These are like basically the exact same brush, but I still prefer this one over this one. I don't know why I even ended up packing this one. I honestly don't think I even meant to do that. Weird. Okay, the next one that I have here is one of my favorite brushes. This is my Sigma Small Duo Fiber F55 brush. This is just a duo fiber stippling brush. I really like this brush for cream blush, or if I'm doing like foundation. It's just really nice, and I enjoy using it. It's a lot of fun. I don't know why I love this one so much. This next brush that I have here is my Sigma F40 brush, which is just a large angled brush. I use this one also for my bronzer, I think, a bit. I really like this brush as well, just because it fits like into your face so well, you know? Just love that guy. This next one that I have here is the F35. This is just a small little tapered brush. Oops, foundation's falling. This is actually what I use to put on my powder. So like I use this to set under my eyes like that, and just to be able to have a bit more control with where I'm powdering. So I really like this one for powdering my face and setting it all in place. The next one that I have here is my P80 brush. I use this mainly for like concealer. It's just like a flat top duo fiber brush. So I really like this one as well. I also packed my MAC 239. I'm not sure if you can see this. It's just like a flat little paddle brush, and I just use that to pack on eyeshadow onto my eyelid. I also brought my MAC 266 brush, which is just a small little angled brush. Should I be filming a zoomed in shot of these smaller things? I hope you can see this. I'm sorry if you can't. It's just a small little angled brush. You're not missing out on too much. This next guy that I have here is my MAC 219. This is just a small little pencil brush. It's just good for smudging out eyeliner or really focusing like color into your crease. I also brought my favorite eyeshadow brush, which is my MAC 217 brush. This is just kind of like a fluffy crease brush, but it's got a bit more control than like a blending brush, if that makes sense. Then I also just brought this big fluffy blending eyeshadow brush. And then last but not least, I brought this little baby brush here. This is from Clarins, and it's the 3500 brush. The genuine, I'm gonna go with 3500. I think that's the name of it. It's just a very, like, you're definitely not gonna be able to see this one on camera. It's just a very little pointed little brush. It's so little. This guy is really good for eyeliner because it's so tiny and precise. You can really control what the wing of your eyeliner looks, or like how close you get to the lash line. This is literally like the tiniest little brush ever. And then finally, I'm just gonna show you these little guys down here that I brought. So the first guy here is just a lip liner. This is the Rimmel Exaggerate Natural Lip Pencil. And this is just a really neutral lip liner, just to go with all the lipsticks that I brought. I also packed my Revlon tweezers, which is my favorite kind of tweezers. I'm not even sure what kind this is specifically, but I know it comes in like a bunch of different patterns. Mine has little cherry blossoms on it. But these are literally the best pair of tweezers ever. I always buy the same ones. And I've tried a lot of different tweezers. Like, I've tried a bunch of the Tweezerman ones because I heard they were good. Nothing compares to this little Revlon one. And it's like $5 from the drugstore, so I love that guy. I also brought my Dior brow styler. It's just like a really light brown color. It's actually what I have in my eyebrows today as well. I brought this lip liner, which is more of a darker mauvey color. This is Soar Lip Pencil by MAC. This is a really nice lip liner because it still is kind of a neutral color, but it's a little more intense and a little more, it's just a little more something like a nude liner like this. And last but not least, this is my beloved eyeliner pencil. This is the Marc Jacobs gel eyeliner pencil in Brown Out, which is just a sparkly brown color. Oh my god. I am not happy right now, I'm gonna be honest. How did this happen? I'm not sure if you can see what's going on, but basically the tube of eyeliner has like fallen out of the pencil and like broken. How did this happen? Very carefully, I'm just gonna try to put this back in. Okay, so I think I saved this guy. I hope it's not actually broken. That was weird. I think it like maybe melted or broke off like the bottom, so it kind of like fell out of the tube, if that makes any sense. Well, that kind of sucks. I hope it's still good. I'm sure it'll be fine. Okay, so that is basically everything that was inside of this brush roll, and that is everything that I brought on my trip in terms of beauty and like makeup tools and stuff like that. So I hope that you enjoyed watching this, and I hope that you got an idea of maybe things to pack when you go traveling, or maybe just some different ideas how to store things and what type of packaging and cases you should be using when you travel. But my biggest advice when traveling is just make sure that you're not bringing any of these things in your carry-on bags, especially if they're over the size limit. It would be awful if you had to throw out like your full foundation size because it's over the limit. So make sure that you keep it in your suitcase if you can, as long as it's protected really well in a nice hard case. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed learning a little bit about what I take when I travel. I definitely overpacked a little bit in terms of makeup, but I'm glad that I brought everything that I did because I ended up having more than enough of different makeup to choose from and different looks that I could create with this stuff. Definitely let me know in the comments below what your traveling essentials are, or if you have any traveling tips when it comes to makeup. And definitely let me know if you're a makeup overpacker like me, or if you're really good at like limiting yourself to only the necessities, which I wish I could be a bit more like. So that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll definitely talk to you guys soon. Bye!